Deep spiritual sigh. Let me start this episode with something real, raw, and necessary because recently I have felt deeply violated. Someone has been watching my content, tracking my posts, and sending anonymous messages and screenshots with no name, no context, no reason. And I want to say this, not for sympathy, but for clarity. This is what sometimes comes with visibility. When your name, your face, your voice, and your frequency begin to expand, so does the audience. And not all of them come in peace. Some come with projection, some come with obsession, some come with shadow. That's just what it is. But let me be very clear. I do not play about my safety. This isn't paranoia. This is discernment. I have already alerted the right people, and I am actively investigating where this energy is coming from because my life and my peace are not up for grabs. So if you're listening and you know you've been lurking, watching, screenshotting, playing in the dark, you need to hear this. Just because I share my light publicly does not mean I am accessible privately. I am not your entertainment. I am not your target. I am not your game. I can still be a brand and a blueprint. And I can still say with my full chest, this is a boundary and you do not get to cross it. And with that being said, I want to pivot into today's episode because this moment, this tension between being seen and being safe ties directly into value, worth, and wealth. We're going to talk about how to make people see your worth by showing up like you're already worthy. We're going to talk about day trading, options, how I scaled into 10K plus months. And no, it wasn't overnight. No, it wasn't lucky. It was strategy. So let's get into it, y'all.
She's not just a podcast host. She's a movement.
Manda Lea is teaching people how to break cycles and build real wealth, mentally, financially, and spiritually.
People all over the world are waking up to her message.
Wired to be Rich isn't just a podcast. It's a mindset shift.
She makes you believe again in yourself, in your power, and your ability to actually have the life you always known was meant for you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Manda Lea, entrepreneur, speaker, and founder of Balance and Destiny, and this is Wired to be Rich. One thing I know for sure, your visibility will trigger two types of people. The ones who are inspired by you and the ones who are intimidated by what you represent. The moment you step out of invisibility and into alignment, the frequency of your presence starts doing the talking, y'all. And it's not even what you say, it's what you radiate. And that alone, it'll stir people. Some will cheer, some will flinch, some will fake support, clapping just loud enough to be heard, but not loud enough to be genuine. Others will study you in silence, gathering data, looking for cracks, not because they want to learn, but because they want to contain you. When I began consistently showing up, posting, building, speaking truth, the shift was immediate. It wasn't growth, it was resistance. Resistance from people who liked me better when I was more digestible, more quiet, less sure of myself. People who were comfortable with me playing small, but deeply uncomfortable with me stepping into full embodiment. And let's be clear. Visibility is not just a camera in a post. Visibility is energetic exposure. It's choosing to be undeniable in a world that profits off your insecurity. And it comes with a price. It comes with whispers, with random followers who don't engage but watch every story, with people who know damn well they don't like you, suddenly sharing your content, but ironically with no tags. It comes with unsolicited feedback, with narratives you didn't consent to, with people misinterpreting your confidence as arrogance or your softness as weakness. But guess what? That comes with the territory. You cannot become unshakably successful without being uncomfortably visible. You don't get to have power and peace all the time. Not when you're breaking generational templates and building something that has never existed in your family line before. That tension, it's a byproduct of ascension, y'all. And let's kill the fantasy. People don't need to know your story to watch you. They don't need to understand your mission to monitor your movement. Some of them are watching just to confirm that you're human, that you stumble, and that you bleed. Others are watching hoping you slip because your courage makes their avoidance louder. But your job is not to manage their projections. Your job is to continue glowing so loudly that even the ones who misunderstand you still feel your warmth. Visibility isn't about being famous. It's about being fully seen and being okay with the fact that not everyone will see you clearly. The real ones don't squint, they recognize. So if you're being watched right now, if your growth is being met with resistance, if your glow is making people uncomfortable, good. Because you're not doing anything wrong. In fact, you're doing it all right. Keep going. Now let's dive into something a little bit more lucrative and let's talk about money and trading. When I first dipped into options, I was annoyed. Not because it was hard, but because it was made to feel hard. The lingo, the candles, the brokers, the Greeks, they talk in a language that sounds like it's meant to confuse you. And that's the whole point, because if they can convince you it's out of reach, you will stay on the sidelines. You'll keep clocking in for paychecks that barely stretch while they multiply money in silence. But I didn't let the smoke and mirrors keep me out. I got in anyway. I love a good challenge. Anyone who knows me knows that. Okay? I love playing with the big boys. And I didn't get in with a huge account, not with overnight wins either. I started practice trades with fake money. I think I got like $1 million of fake money and I practiced with it. And I'm still practicing with it because you have to always upskill, right? And with paper trading or practice trades, it comes with no risk. It's just skill building. I studied, I got familiar with the patterns, and I realized real quick, it's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most regulated. Most people lose because they panic. They click buy and sell based on emotion, not evidence. And they chase hype instead of following structure. Day trading is less about talent and more about temperament. Day trading has to involve you sticking to what you know. Forget what everyone else is doing. Forget what everyone else is saying. You have to be so confident in what you know that you don't listen to anything else outside of that. It's like being in a room full of chaos and knowing exactly when not to move, when to sit still, when to wait. That's the power, y'all. That's the bag. It's not fast money. It's focused money. You don't have to scale 20 times a day and live on edge. You can take 1 or 2 intentional trades and close your laptop. Real skill makes space, not stress. This isn't the hustle hamster wheel. I didn't leave one job just to create another one for myself glued to charts all day. This is about learning a system that frees you, because when you know how to enter and exit with confidence, you stop chasing money and start directing it. I had to rewire my whole relationship with money. I had to stop seeing it as a reward for suffering. I had to stop believing I had to earn it through exhaustion. Trading taught me that sometimes the most profitable thing you can do is wait. Not everything needs to be forced. Some things flow when you just trust your setup. And listen, it takes time. You will lose trades. You will overtrade. You will make rookie mistakes. But if you stay in the game long enough to catch your rhythm, that's when things start to click. Not because you cracked some secret code, but because you stopped reacting and started strategizing. And if you want to learn trading, don't go in thinking you're about to get rich overnight. Go in knowing you're building leverage. Leverage to say no. Leverage to walk away. Leverage to not be dependent on one check, one job, one client, one algorithm, or one person. You don't need 10 monitors and a finance degree. You need focus, discipline, and a willingness to unlearn. Did you hear me? I said unlearn. That's what they don't tell you. This game isn't about speed. It's about self-control. Now, let's be real. Trading looks mad complicated on the surface, and honestly, it's by design. It's made to look like this elite club so regular people feel too dumb or too emotional to even try. But the truth is, as I stated, the game isn't about being a genius. It's about being disciplined as hell. One thing I love about trading so far is that it humbles you. It teaches you to slow down, read the room, trust your setup. And if the setup is not there, you do nothing. You just wait. You watch and you protect your energy and your capital. And that mindset will leak into everything else in your life, your business, your boundaries, your dating life, all of it. You stop jumping at the first shiny thing that dangles in your face and you start moving with intention. You pick up what serves you and you let go of what doesn't. It's not about being perfect. It's about being ready to pivot at all times. It's about knowing that when the moment hits, you're not guessing, you're executing calmly, focused, and unbothered. And yeah, trading is just one lane, but the lessons are universal. Master your emotions and you master your money. Period. Here's what shifted everything for me. I stopped waiting for people to validate me. I started showing up like the value was already understood. Period. I built my brand with intention. I got clear on who I help, how I help, and why it matters. I packaged it, positioned it, priced it like it was premium because it is. I stopped entertaining lowball energy. I stopped downplaying what I bring to the table just to be digestible. I said yes to visibility. I said yes to being seen as too much by the wrong audience so I could finally be the exact match for the right one. And let's be clear, my money doesn't come from one lane. I don't believe in depending on one stream or one job or one platform. I've built an ecosystem. Clients, content, consulting. My podcast, product, strategy. I'll let it all work together. I stopped glorifying burnout and started honoring sustainability. And no, it didn't pop off instantly. It took clarity, boundaries, saying no when it would have been easier just to accept whatever came to me. It took knowing that I'm not meant to be accessible to everybody. 10K months didn't come from luck either. It came from structure, from knowing and showing up like a business, not a hobby, from consistency, not perfection, from deciding that I am no longer going to shrink so other people feel safe staying small. You don't get paid what you're worth. You get paid based on how well you know your own worth. And once I understood that, the entire game changed for me. Now, let's talk about something that isn't always easy to say out loud, but I know someone listening needs to hear it. And it goes back to the very beginning of the podcast, what I started off talking about. Sometimes the biggest threats to your peace don't come from strangers, y'all. They come from people close to you or close to the person you care about. People who smile at you, laugh with you, and still manage to say some deeply disrespectful shit, but in a jokey tone. I say jokey with air quotations right now. Or worse, people who stay silent when others are trying to belittle you in subtle ways. Recently, I had to check myself because I found myself constantly explaining why things were bothering me. Like, why is it a red flag when someone's family is overly involved in your relationship? Why is it weird when a grown man's friends or relatives feel comfortable making comments about what you do behind closed doors? Why does it feel so violating when random people are observing your every move, screenshotting, watching your content, and no one close to you think that's worth a serious conversation? Let me be real. If someone's people feel that comfortable being shady, it's because they were allowed to feel comfortable. And if that person you're dating isn't checking that energy or protecting your name when you're not in a room, that is not partnership. That's exposure. That's vulnerability without coverage. I'm at the point now where I'm not arguing with people's brothers, friends, mamas, line dancing homegirls, none of it. If the environment around you is chaotic and you refuse to secure the perimeter, then I will secure my exit. Because peace is not just internal, peace is environmental. And if your circle disrupts my spirit, I will remove myself without warning. No drama, all discernment, because the older I get, the less tolerance I have for vibes that drain me. You don't have to throw a fit. You don't have to make an announcement. Just move like your safety, your mental health, and your future depend on your boundaries, because they do, people. It really does. Tomorrow depends on what you do today. So if you take anything from this episode, let it be this. You were valuable before the invoice, worthy before the DM, powerful before the repost. Your glow up doesn't need a cosign. And if they're watching, good, give them a show. Just make sure it's one where the lead character is booked, blessed, and unbothered. Because over here, we don't shrink. We what? We scale. And we're not waiting to be chosen. We built our own table and brought the damn lighting. This has been Wired to be Rich, one of my favorite episodes ever. I hope you learned so much and got so much from it. If you have, drop your girl a comment, a review, a couple stars, 5, if you will. It's so appreciated, and it helps the system know to push this content out to more people who would benefit from learning this. You want people to see how much you're elevating? Show them who you're listening to. I am Manda Lea, your favorite internet disruptor, and I'll see y'all next week. Oh, and if you're going to lurk, at least rate the podcast 5 stars while you're at it. Okay? Don't be weird and useless, people. Pick a lane. Bye.